Good morning, everyone. Now, the part 2 of the chapter Biomolecule I have started here. So, the topic is configuration of glucose. Configuration means the displacement of the hydrogen atom. Displacement of the hydrogen atom as well as OH group around the tetrahedral carbon atom. We all know very well that carbon atom is the tetrahedral. So the exact configuration of glucose has been established by a scientist named as Fischer on the basis of its chemical characteristic, and the names Fischer has given is D within bracket plus glucose. Here D represent the configuration. This D represent the configuration, while this plus sign implies the rotation of the path of plane polarized to the right hand side. It means that when glucose passes through the plane of the polarized light, or when the polarized light is focused on the glucose, so it rotates the plane of polarized light towards the right hand side. This implies the plus sign. Now, according to the Fischer, the configuration or the structure for the glucose is, that is CHO. Now, we all know very well, in the straight chain there are 6 carbon atoms. So first of all, represent the carbon atom. This is 1 2 3 4 5, and last one is CH2OH, because the structure is CHO CHOH whole 4 and CH2OH. Now here OH group is attached. This is hydrogen, here OH. Now here OH, again here OH, and here H and H. So this structure was given by the Fischer, or we can represent this structure as a, this is CHO. Now at last CH2OH. Now 1 2 3, this one is the and 1, this is 1 2 3, and one more is there, that is the fourth one, because now this position, these dots, here the carbon atom are present. They show the presence of the, or the position of the carbon atom. So here OH, H, here OH, H, OH, OH, H, H. So these two are the structure or the configuration for the glucose. Now here we use the term D. Now there are two terms. One is the D and another one is the L. These are the notations. D and L notations. Now let us discuss about the significance of the D and L notation. So the symbol D and L have nothing to do with the sign of the optical activity. They are independent for this with the optical activity. So, and the optical activity, we know that there are, if we are discuss about the optical activity, so that one is the dextro and another one is the levo. So D and L doesn't stand for the dextro and the levo. They represent the relative position of the atom. D and L represent the relative position of the atom or the group around the chiral carbon atom. Now here we use the term chiral carbon. So chiral carbon is a carbon atom that is attached to the 4 different type of atom or the group of atom. Chiral carbon means that carbon atom which is attached to the 4 different group of atom or 4 different type of atom, that is known as the chiral carbon atom. So here we have the example of glyceraldehyde. So the compound glyceraldehyde, that is this, we have one compound known as the glyceraldehyde. Its formula is C3H6O3. This is the formula, molecular structure of the glyceraldehyde. So the compound glyceraldehyde, which is an aldotriose. Tri means 3 carbon atom are present, and aldo stand for the aldehydic group, has one chiral carbon atom. Now chiral carbon means the carbon atom which is attached to the 4 different type of atom or the different group. It exists in 2 enantiomeric form with certain specific configuration. So it exists in the 2 enantiomeric form. Enantiomeric form means they have the same number of the carbon atom, same number of the hydrogen atom, same number of the oxygen atom. Only there is a difference in the arrangement of the oxygen or the hydrogen. So the enantiomer with the hydrogen atom, the enantiomer with the hydrogen atom on the left and OH group on the right is assigned configuration D, in which the H is at the left and OH at the right. It is assigned as the D. The configuration is D. Now here we are talking about these two group, when these two group attached with the carbon atom, which is a chiral carbon atom. And in second case, when H is at the right and OH is at the left, it is L. So we use these two notations. One is the D and another one is the L. Now these are regarded as the absolute configuration. These two configuration, D and L configuration, are regarded as the absolute configuration. Now let us discuss the structure of the glyceraldehyde as D and L. So the formula or the molecular structure for the molecular formula is C3H6O3. So the structure of the glyceraldehyde is CHO, CH2, OH, H, OH. This is the one enantiomer, and another form is CHO, CH2OH. Now the position of the H and OH is shifted. This one is the OH, or we can write it as a OH, OH, and here H. Now look at these two structure. I have already told you when the hydrogen is at the left, and now these 2 points, this point and this point, we have already discussed. These are the carbon atom. These show the position of the carbon atom. This is carbon atom, this is carbon atom. That's why this is 1, 2 and 3. That's why it is C3. So here the hydrogen atom is at the left position and OH is at the right position, and here so it is D configuration. This is D glyceraldehyde. This is D glyceraldehyde, and L is the opposite of the D. L is the opposite of the D. It means the OH group is at the left hand side and H group is at the right hand side. So it is termed as the L. So it is L glyceraldehyde. So this is the meaning of the D and L. DLL doesn't stand for the dextro and the levo. The meaning DLL are the configuration, and it depends on the position of the attachment of the chiral carbon atom. Now, in this case, we have used the two sign. One is plus and another one is minus. We use these two sign also, plus and the minus. So let us discuss about these sign, and that we have already discussed that a glucose is also considered as a D plus glucose. This is also considered as a D plus glucose. Then let us discuss about these sign. What is the meaning of this sign? So all those compounds which can be chemically correlated to the plus isomers. If we are talking about the plus isomer of the glyceride or the either with the glucose, so they are related to the D configuration. If we are talking about the plus isomer, it means we are talking about the D configuration, and if we are talking about the minus isomer, it means we are talking about the L configuration. D, for D we use the plus sign, and for L we use the negative sign. We can also discuss it as a D with D plus, and with L, that is the minus. Now, for assigning the configuration of a monosaccharide, these are the monosaccharide, glucose is a monosaccharide. So for assigning the configuration of the monosaccharide, it is the lowest asymmetric carbon atom. We have chosen the lowest asymmetric carbon atom. So here, this one is the lowest asymmetric carbon atom. This one is the lowest asymmetric carbon atom. And here in this case, if we are talking about the glucose, so this one is the lowest asymmetric carbon atom, and here this one is the lowest asymmetric carbon. So these two asymmetric carbon atom which are in the lowest position, they are very important for assigning the configuration. So for assigning the configuration of the monosaccharides, it is the lowest asymmetric carbon atom which is compared. So as in plus glucose, now plus glucose, the OH on the lowest asymmetric carbon atom is at the right hand side. Similarly here, if we compare it with the glyceraldehyde, again the OH group is at the right hand side. So for that we use the D configuration. If the OH group is at the right hand side, we use the D configuration, and if the OH group is at the left hand side, then we use it, here we use the L configuration. So this is the lowest asymmetric carbon atom, this one and this one. So these carbon atom decide the D and L configuration. D means the position of the OH and H present on the lowest asymmetric carbon atom are very important to decide the D and L configuration. Now the next topic is the cyclic structure of the glucose. We have already discussed this open structure of glucose which was given by the Fischer. Now most of the properties of the glucose are satisfied with the help of this structure, but there are various reactions which are not explained with the help of this structure. So for these reactions we have the cyclic structure of the glucose. So the reactions, like for example, we all know very well that glucose is having the aldehyde group, or the aldehyde group, aldehyde is present, aldehyde group is present in the glucose. So glucose does not give the Skiff test. We have one test in the laboratory known as the Skiff test. We have the Skiff reagent. For that we have a Skiff reagent, and it does not form the hydrogen sulfide addition product with sodium hydrogen sulfide. So one property or one test is not satisfied, that Skiff test is not satisfied with this open structure. For that we need the cyclic structure of the glucose. Now another condition is that the glucose exists in two crystalline form. that is one is alpha and another is beta. Now rest thing, that is D plus glucose, here D plus glucose, that is same in both the structure, only the alpha and beta notations are the different. So first of all we discuss about the method of preparation of alpha and the beta. So glucose is found to exist in the two different crystalline form, that is alpha form and the beta form. The alpha form of the glucose, its melting point is 419 Kelvin and it is obtained by the crystallization from concentrated solution of glucose at the temperature of 303 Kelvin. Whereas if we are talking about the beta form, this form, so the beta form, its melting point is 423 Kelvin and it is obtained by the crystallization from hot and saturated aqueous solution of the glucose, and here the temperature is 371 Kelvin. So this is the difference between the alpha and the beta form, the preparation method of the alpha and the beta form. There is the difference in the melting point as well as the temperature of the preparation method. So now these two forms, alpha and the beta forms, are known as the anomers. These two forms are known as the anomers and these are the cyclic structure of the glucose. Now let us discuss the difference between these two anomers. Actually, what is the main idea or the concept behind the alpha and the beta form? Now this structure, this is the open structure. We know that in this open structure, this is the C1 carbon atom. So this carbon atom contain one H and one O only. So let's see the difference between the open and the cyclic structure. These are the cyclic structure. So this one is the C1 carbon atom. This is C2, C3, C4, C5 and C6. Here the same C1, C2, C3, C4, C5 and C6. Now here this is the C1 carbon atom. This is the C1 carbon atom. We know that it contains only one hydrogen and one oxygen. So the hydrogen is this one, oxygen is this one. Now we have one extra H. Now this extra H comes from this OH. Now this is the O and this H is here. Again the same method is the same. It contains C, H, O. Now one extra H is from here. O is here. This O is here. Now H is combined with this C1 carbon atom. So on the basis of this OH group, when it is here, it is present at the right hand side and here it is present at the left hand side. We have given the name alpha and the beta. So these are the anomers, these are the isomers. So the isomer having the hydroxyl group on the right hand side. In this isomer, the OH group or the hydroxyl group is present in the right hand side. So it is known as the alpha D glucose. And if the isomer is having the hydroxyl group or OH group to the left hand side of the C1 carbon atom, here we are only talking about the C1 carbon atom. The difference is arise only because of the arrangement of OH group around the C1 carbon atom in both the cases. So if the OH group is present on the left hand side of the C1 carbon atom, so it is termed as a beta glucose. So this is the difference between the alpha. This is the structural difference between the alpha and the beta isomer of the glucose. Now such pair of optical isomers, these are the optical isomers, these are optically active isomers. So such pair of optical isomers which differ in the configuration only around the C1 carbon atom. Here the configuration is different, but it is only differ around the C1 carbon atom in both the cases. So these isomers are known as the anomers. These isomers are termed as the anomers. The C1 carbon atom is called anomeric or glycosidic carbon atom in both the cases. Here in the alpha glucose as well as in the beta glucose, the C1 carbon atom is called anomeric or glycosidic carbon. Here we are talking about the C1 carbon atom. This one is the C1 carbon atom. This one is the C1 carbon atom. So this alpha and beta isomer are arise only because of the presence of the hydroxyl group, or only because of the arrangement of the hydroxyl group in here in the alpha position. The hydroxyl group or OH group is at the right hand side, and here in the beta glucose the hydroxyl or the OH group is at the left hand side, and these two isomers are called where the configuration is different only because of the C1 carbon atom. This is known as the anomers. Now with this we have completed the topic glucose, and this is the cyclic structure of glucose, and this one is the open chain structure of the glucose. Now in the next session we have discussed about the other monosaccharide which is known as the fructose. Okay, let us start with the topic fructose. Fructose is also a monosaccharide. It is an important ketohexose. Now it is clear from the name that it contains the ketone as a ketonic functional group. It is obtained along with the glucose by the hydrolysis of disaccharide. For example, there is one disaccharide called sucrose. If we have done the hydrolysis of sucrose, we get one molecule of glucose and one molecule of fructose. So the fructose has the same molecular formula as the glucose, that is C6H12O6, and on the basis of its reaction, this fructose was found to contain ketonic functional group. That's why it is called the ketohexose. So it was found to contain the ketonic functional group at carbon number 2. The carbon which is at the second position, it contains the ketonic group, and the 6 carbon atom are found in a chain as we have seen in the structure of the glucose. Otherwise both the structure are same, only there is a difference of the group, that is here the ketonic group is present. It belongs to the D series. We have discussed about the D and L configuration. So it is also belongs to the D series, and it is a levorotatory compound. Here levorotatory compound. So the meaning of the levorotatory compound is it rotates the plane of polarized light towards the left hand side. That's why it is termed as a levorotatory compound. And if we said it is a this is levorotatory. So it is implies with the negative sign. So it has D configuration, and it is a levorotatory compound. So it is written as D, a small dash in between the D, and this is minus fructose. It has D configuration and it is levorotatory. We have all discussed that glucose is dextrorotatory, so it has plus sign, whereas fructose is levorotatory. That's why it possesses the minus sign. Its open chain structure, I'll show you its open chain structure, that is CH2OH. Here C. Now this is the second carbon atom. This one is the second carbon atom. It possesses the ketonic group, and rest is, this is one carbon atom, H, OH. There is OH, H. This one is OH, H, and last one is CH2OH. Now all the carbon atom here, all the carbon atom are in a form of a straight chain, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 carbon atom are in the form of the straight chain, and in the second carbon atom here the ketonic group is present. It also exists in 2 cyclic forms which are obtained by the addition of OH at C5 to the ketonic group, as we have already done in the case of the glucose. So the 2 cyclic structures are, the first one is, that is C, this is CH2OH, CH2OH. Now this C, this first C, this one is the first carbon atom. This is the first carbon atom, because here we have we prepared the cyclic structure. So this one is the first carbon atom. This C is the second carbon atom. This one is the second carbon atom. Here OH. Now rest are, this one is CH2OH. Here HOH. This one is OH, H, and last one is H, and here O. This one is the C5. So the linkage is in between the C5 and that carbon atom which possesses the ketonic group. So this one is the cyclic structure for the fructose. We have already discussed about the alpha, how we will get the alpha sign. So this one is the alpha D dash minus sign, and then fructose. This is the alpha D minus fructose. Now the second cyclic structure, that is the beta structure or the beta form. The beta form for the fructose is here. This one is C. Now CH2OH. Here this is the carbon 1. This is the carbon 2. Now here the OH. Now in this case the OH is at the left hand side, so it is termed as a beta, and now the rest are the same. This is CH2OH. This one is the H. This is OH. This one is the H. This is OH, and this one is the H. So this one is the beta D minus fructose. This sign implies that it is levorotatory. So these are the 2 cyclic form of the fructose. One is the alpha and another one is the beta. Now we also have a ring structure for the fructose, which we apply on a 5-membered ring structure, which is called furan. And the fructose which is obtained when we apply the structure on the furan, it is known as the furanose. This is known as the furanose structure. This is the furanose structure. The structure for the furan is, this one is the, this is the structure for the furan. This is the structure for the furan, and when we apply all the CH and OH here in the furan, that now it is termed as the furanose. Now there are two anomers for the furanose structure. One is the alpha and another one is the beta. Now let us draw these two structures one by one. Now let us draw the alpha and the beta form. First of all, we have to draw the alpha form. So first of all, draw the, this is the structure of furan. Now I will assign the carbon atom and the oxygen atom here. So do this one, this one, this one. Now let's start from here. That is CH2OH. This is one carbon atom. Here OH, CH2OH. Look at here. This one is the CH2OH. Here OH. So CH2OH. Here OH. This is 2 carbon atom. This is 3rd carbon atom. This is 4th carbon atom. This is 5th carbon atom. And at last we have CH2OH. This is 6th carbon atom. Now here OH, H, here H, OH, CH2OH. At last we have H. Now this is the alpha form. This form is the alpha form, or alpha D minus fructofuranose. Its name is fructofuranose. Now let us draw the beta structure. So this is the oxide ring. This one here. Now so 1, 2, 3, 4. So here CH2OH, this one is OH, this is number 1 carbon atom, this is 2, this is 3, this one is the 4, this is 5, and here at the last is CH2OH. This is the 6th carbon atom. Now here H, this is H, OH, this is OH, and here it is H. Now this form is beta D minus fructofuranose. Both the structure are same, only this is the ring structure, and in this structure we use the furan ring. Rest of the thing, the number and the sequence of the CH2OH, CH2OH is same. That's why it is termed as a alpha and it is termed as a beta.